I'm going to be talking about the benefits of a literacy-rich environment, especially for classrooms that have special education students who require accessible materials and adapted materials. So, first and foremost, what is a literacy-rich environment? A literacy-rich environment is about immersing students in learning so that it's not purely in a controlled circumstance that is dictated by a teacher. It's not purely instructional based, but it allows students to show agency over their own learning and follow their interests and engage with materials in an authentic and organic way. It's about offering space and time for students to engage with concepts that they're learning in the classroom in a way that they are in charge of. So it's knowledge through assimilation. When learners are surrounded by materials that they can engage with, they have they get to be they get to demonstrate self-efficacy. They get to show what they're interested in. They get to have make a difference if the materials are interactive, which I'll talk about, and show that they have a voice in the classroom. So first and foremost, for all students, having a literacy-rich environment boosts their vocabulary, so they're able to, after 4th grade, research show that they are not learning to read, but reading to learn, and in reading to learn more about their interests or something that they found interesting in class or outside of class. They are engaging with materials and finding new vocabulary on their own, which only increases the chance of application because they are not being instructed to do so. They're doing so by their own means, and this is a skill that can be transferred to outside of the classroom as well. They might go to the library or look around their community for more information about the things that they are interested in. And it also deepens comprehension in that same vein, so they're able to see different ways that resonate with that information resonates with them, that new concepts merge with their schema. They develop critical thinking, so they can compare and contrast and ask deeper questions about concepts that they're engaging with. And from that general perspective, I would say for special ed specifically, the 3 main benefits that I found were bridging foundational gaps. So students who may have missed early exposure, especially in international schools, to literacy concepts, they get continuous opportunities to build these concepts in a way that is really low risk. It's not being graded, or they don't have to compare themselves to their peers. They're just able to have these authentic experiences in their own time. 2, I found that having literacy-rich environments demonstrates the function and utility of language. So it gives examples of how language works as a tool in the classroom to help us function with routines, patterns, schedules. In a busy environment, how does language actually help us? Looking at a calendar, reading a recipe in our cooking classes, what do signs and symbols mean, and how do those help us function as adults? Having that transparency is really, I think, interesting for students, and it's able to foster a really genuine learning environment. And a literacy-rich environment offers accessible and individualized learning experiences, so having adaptive materials and assistive technologies to help students interact with materials allows for feeling included, feeling like their voice matters, which is super important for our special ed classrooms and students. So I think what's most important is for these materials to be visible, and that includes like schedules and any other tools that teachers use to stay on top of their classes. I think it's important for students to see us using those tools and being a role model of this language that we're learning working for us in real time. Having interactive stations for students to write the calendar is something that we do, and have materials that they can manipulate and show their own understanding of their own learning is great. And having authentic materials like menus, maps, newspapers to show that they are engaged with the world around them in a way that allows them to show their own understanding of concepts. Rotating out these materials based on the units that they're working on and what the students are interested in shows also that their voice is important in the classroom. And yeah, ultimately, I think having a literacy-rich environment provides a transparent and honest view for students to see the world outside of the classroom as it functions, as these tools function in their immediate environment. So thanks for tuning in, and see you later.